Greetings, Turdlings, and welcome back to Podcastage 2, aka The Deuce. Today I am doing a quick test or comparison or explanation of the Earthworks Ethos and the Earthworks Icon Pro and maybe the SR314. I don't know if I need to disclose it in this video, but the Ethos was sent to me by Earthworks so I could review it, which I did. I'll throw that in the corner if you want to check out a full review. But the reason I wanted to make this is I saw a lot of discussion prior to these microphones coming out stating that the Ethos may be the exact same microphone as the Icon Pro. Earthworks just threw on a different grill and they increased the price by $200 or $300. That is not the case. When we take off the grills of both microphones and compare the diaphragms or capsules, you can tell that the Icon Pro does have a smaller diaphragm. I don't know the exact measurement. I do know that the Ethos has a 14mm capsule though, so based on that, I would guess the Icon Pro is maybe an 11mm capsule. Not 100% sure. And just because we can, if we take the grill off the SR314 and compare that to the Ethos, you can tell that the sizing is pretty much identical, if not spot on. It does have a different color mesh underneath it though, and if we were to look at the frequency response graphs, it does appear to be different, and the self-noise is different, where the Ethos is 16 dBA, the SR314 is only 15 dBA. Another really common question that I got is, can you take this big fat foam windscreen off of the Ethos and use it on the Icon Pro? First thing I will say, you cannot just take it off and put it on the Icon Pro. That will not work. But if we take the grills off of both microphones and try to screw on the housing for the foam onto the Icon Pro, it does appear to work flawlessly. We can then throw the foam on that and have no issues whatsoever. And just for good measure, if we try to screw the metal grill from the Icon Pro onto the Ethos, that appears to work as well. And I don't think anybody's going to be doing this, but if you wanted to use this big fat foam windscreen on the SR314, which is a handheld condenser, here is what that looks like. Technically, it does screw onto the microphone, but as you can see, it is not flush to the case like the actual grill for the SR314 is. But it does function, in case you wanted to know. Now I want to take the test a little bit farther and see how different the microphones actually are. So I have removed the grill and the foam from the Ethos and the Icon Pro so we can hear the raw audio from the microphone without anything coming in between my voice and the microphone. So I will just keep talking and switching back and forth between these. I'm now realizing I'm not wearing a beanie, and I think everybody now realizes that I own something other than a black hoodie, even though people made fun of me because it's apparently a yellow thing that I'm wearing. I'm colorblind. It just looked like a tan chore coat, but apparently it's yellow. Okay, I think that's plenty of talking between these. Now, because the diaphragms of the Ethos and the SR314 look so similar, I wanted to do a quick back and forth comparison to see if they are the same or if they have made further alterations to the capsule, the diaphragm, and the electronics, which I imagine is the case, but I have been switching back and forth between them so you can hear the differences without any wind protection on either. And now here is what the Ethos sounds like without any foam windscreen installed. Now here is how the Ethos sounds with the provided foam windscreen installed with the housing and casing and all of that on there. And now here is how the Icon Pro sounds without any foam windscreen or any grill installed. And now here is how the Icon Pro sounds once we take that housing and foam off of the Ethos and install it onto the Icon Pro. Here is how the Icon Pro sounds without any wind protection at all. Here is how the Earthworks Icon Pro sounds with the provided metal grill installed. And again, here is how the Icon Pro sounds when we have the wind protection from the Earthworks Ethos installed on it. And just so we can hear it, here is how the SR314 sounds without any wind protection. Here is how it sounds with the provided metal windscreen and pop filter for the microphone. And here is how it sounds with the wind protection and pop filter from the Earthworks Ethos installed. Sure, it does not create a flush body, but here's how it sounds in case you want to do this. Okay, that's all that I wanted to do today. Hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully that answered some of your questions about the interchangeability of the microphones, about the differences in the capsules and the sound qualities and all of that. If you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Even though it doesn't show up, I still see it. And I'll talk as my air conditioner turns on. I'll talk to you later. Bye.